We find in 1 Timothy 6, verse 6, that it reads as follows: "But godliness with contentment is great gain." I'll read the rest of the verses to give you a greater understanding of the context. "For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. But thou, O man of God, flee these things and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, meekness." The epicenter of the message, we tried to emphasize it by saying that modern pulpits no longer speak about piety. It's like holiness. It's a topic that is not spoken very frequently from modern pulpits, and that's for various reasons. Primary among them is that the seeker-friendly types, they wish not to offend the carnal Christians and the sinners that are sitting in those pews, because these people whom are speaking to these so-called congregations, they're looking more for popularity amongst the intelligentsia, the elite of the Christian industry, etc., etc., etc. So they dare not speak about things that the Bible speaks of. Specifically, if we talk about this in the context of piety, it's because of the implications of piety. When we're speaking about piety, we're speaking about obligations, responsibilities, and our duties before our Maker. And we live in a generation, I think you'd agree with me on this, that whenever you speak about responsibilities, obligations, and duties, this generation doesn't want to hear about that. Their definition of liberty, as it were, is more libertinism divorced from personal responsibility, which, of course, those things are not synonymous. It's obvious that they are in contradiction with one another. But in essence, this generation says, give me liberty, give me freedom. I want freedom. But when you examine that a little closer, they don't want responsibilities. They don't want discipline. What they want is they want pleasures, pure pleasures. But then when they suffer the consequences of those pleasures, they don't want to suffer the ramifications of their behavior. So they seek to eliminate those things. So anything that has to do with responsibilities, moral responsibilities, and duties and whatnot, they want nothing to do with that. They want pure libertinism. And this, in some way, shape, or form, has infiltrated itself into the Church of Jesus Christ, where many Christians now, when you speak to them about piety, meaning, again, duty, obligations, responsibilities, and we'll get into that shortly, this is something that is a topic that is not in vogue, yet the Bible doesn't dismiss it simply because many people are afraid to speak about it.
So how do we get here?